Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's session, let's discuss about analysis as well as seeds. So first let's discuss what is analysis in DBT. Analysis refers to the SQL queries and the transformation that go beyond the traditional ETL process. It's where you ask complex questions of your data. You can perform the aggregations and create calculated fields that help uncover meaningful patterns in your data set. So in DBT, analysis are written in SQL and are stored in .SQL files just like your models. Okay. So right now we have discussed about the models directory. So where you will be writing your SQL queries, right? And we know the extension of the file that is .SQL. And even we have seen the test folder also. Okay. So where we'll be writing again the SQL queries, that is select statements, right? And again the extension for all those files is also .SQL. And again in the analysis folder, okay, so we're gonna write a SQL queries, okay, and again it will the file extension for this analysis is also .SQL. So just remember, so whenever you're writing any of the files inside the analysis folder, so it of .SQL extension, it is not considered as a model, okay, so it is considered as an analysis, okay. And it is similar to the models, but it's not executed and it is not materialized as a view or table in your data warehouse. So these files, so whatever you're going to create it, so it live in the analysis directory of your DBT project, and they are separate from your regular models, okay. And they provide a dedicated space for exploratory and the ad hoc queries. Assume like you want to just test your data models and you want to understand the patterns, or you're just building some complex models, okay. So if you want to just don't want to build those models in data warehouse and just want to explore it, so then you can just add those .SQL files or the select statement inside the analysis folder, okay. So this is what is analysis. So analysis are .SQL files that live in the analysis folder, and analysis will not be run with the DBT run like models, right? So if you have models in your DBT project, we know the command that is DBT run, right? So if we give DBT run, so whatever the files have added inside the analysis, okay, basically the select statement is not executed because that command is only to build or materialized a models inside the models directory, right? And so that's what the second point is. So analysis will not be run with the DBT run like models, and however you can still compile this from Jinja SQL to pure SQL. So we have so far seen the basic Jinja templating, right? So we have seen how to write a config block, how to write a ref function, and we know about the source functions, right? So whatever the code you have written in the Jinja, right? So it is basically converted into pure SQL form, okay? So the command to run the analysis is a dbt compile, okay. So we'll be giving a dbt compile to execute the analysis, but it will whatever the models you have written inside the analysis is not built as a table or view inside your data warehouse, okay. Just remember that part, okay. And this compile, so this will compile to target folder. So if you want to see the compiled version of whatever the model you have built inside the analysis, okay, it is not uh, it will not reflect into data warehouse. Instead you can just go to your compile target folder and see under the compile, okay. Anyways, we're gonna see the practical, okay, in just few minutes. And analyses are useful for training queries, right? Of one-off queries and the audits, right? So this is where so we'll be using this analysis, okay. So I can give an example. Like for example, let's say you want to analyze monthly sales growth, right? So in a DBT analysis file, you can write a query that calculates the month over month growth rate, right? Giving you dynamic and the customizable view of your sales performance, okay. So and but you don't want this model to be built in data warehouse, so that's where you will be writing models inside the analysis folder, fine. And so now let's go and do the practical for the analysis. Okay, so right now I'm inside my project, right? So let me close this everything. Fine. So this is my project structure, right? So we have seen about the models, and even we have seen about the generic test. Singular test. Okay, if you want to write any of the singular test, so you're gonna add that in the test folders, right? So we have explored about the models and the test. Okay. So now let's see what is this analysis folder is, right? So if I just expand this analysis folder, right now we don't have any models inside this analysis folder. Okay. So before writing any of the queries inside this analysis, let me go and check the connection. So you can just the command to check the connection, that is dbt debug, right? So let's check. Okay, so dbt was unable to connect to a specific database. Okay, so let me, so if you're getting any kind of connection error, right? So what I can do is, so let me quickly go to my C drive, right? And inside the C drive, let me go to the users, and inside the user, we have .dbt, and inside .dbt we have profiles. Let me go and check if I have made any mistake. So this is my password, raw, everything is good. So if I do dir, right now I'm in project folder, okay. Jaffle shop account admin, this is good. Okay, so right now I'm in the base, okay, so that's what, okay, so sorry for that. So I want to get into not in base, right? So if I do conda env list just to check all the environments. Uh, Fine. I think my environment was dbt dbt jan, right? dbt jan. I was working in the dbt jan. Okay. So we know the command to activate. So that is conda activate dbt jan. Fine. So now if I do dbt debug. Okay, so all checks passed. Okay, so my connection is successful. Fine. So let me go and build one analysis model. Okay, so let me create a new file. I'll just name this file as orders by day. Okay, so I just want to see the orders by a day, and but I don't want to build this as a model. So what is the meaning of build this as model? I don't want to materialize this model to be view or table in my data warehouse. I just want to see like what will be the output for this, right? And so yes, so now let me go and write the query for this. Okay, so with orders I'm just writing simple ct with orders. uh, I'll write select star. So from analysis folder, even you can just directly refer to the models, whatever the models right now have, right? For example, in the staging, we have stage. Under the Jaffle shop, we have stage orders, right? So I can directly refer from my analysis models also. Fine. So let me open the two curly braces. I'm using the ref function here. So select star from stage underscore orders. Okay, so I need to write that in quotes. Ref function. So just a second. Quotes, right? Yeah, I thought we should not add the quotes. Fine. Stage customers. Fine. So next, so now let me write one more CT. So here I'm just selecting directly the stage orders because I want to see the orders by day. And so next, let me write one more. So here I'll just write daily uh, as so here I'll just write select order date, and so I'll just write count everything as order number. Okay, order num. I hope you are understanding what we're doing because this is a continuation video, right? And I hope you're following along with me with this series. and you know about the data set. Okay, so I just assume that and just writing the queries directly. Okay, from orders. So let me group by just order date. Fine. So now let me write select star from a daily. Fine. Daily. Okay, let me write control yes. And so now let me just run the dbt compile compli compile. Okay, I made a mistake. Sorry, it's dbt compile compile. Okay. Okay, so you can see we have 7 models. You can see like we have one analysis this time, right? And even if I just go back to my snowflake, so where is my snowflake? Sorry, yeah. So if I just go back and let me refresh this. Okay, if I go back to my raw database, okay, so if I just expand the analysis tables or views, you'll not able to find that orders by day. Okay, can you just check here? Okay, so we don't have that particular model which is built over here. Okay, so let me go to back to my project, and if I want to see the compiled version of this whatever I have written, so you go to the target and inside the compiled. Okay, can you see the analysis? Let me expand the analysis, and if I just open this orders by .sql, you can see like the compiled version of this particular code. Okay, so now if I want to see the result for this, right? So we have a command for this. So the command is dbt show hyphen select and the model name. Okay, so I'll just give the model name. So model name is orders by a day, right? And hit enter. So then you can see the records. Okay, so for the whatever the query you have built so far, right? You can see the order date as well as the order number for each day, right? And but if you go to your snowflake, you'll not be able to find whether it is vendoralized as a view or table because it's not yet built. Okay, so in your data warehouse. So this is where the application of analysis comes. There could be scenarios like there are many models you're just testing it, or you want to understand the data structure, or you want just performing some EDA, right? So then you can just use this analysis folder and check the results instead of building that as a table or view in your data warehouse, right? So now let's modify whatever we have written. Okay, so even like we can just compare this whether so whatever the order we got, right? So if I want to compare the orders by previous day orders, right? So even can just do that using compared. Let me write one more CT. Okay, so let me extend this. So instead of directly writing select star from daily, so I can just add one more thing as a compared. Let me write here, give me comma. So here I'll write compared as, I'll just write select star. So lag of order number, okay, and over order by order date as previous orders. Okay, as previous day orders. Okay, so then I'll write, so from where, so from so I'll write from a daily. Okay, so instead of capital D, I'll just write small d. Okay, so from daily, and then I can write select. So select star from compared. Okay, so I've just modified my existing analysis, right? So we know the command, so it is dbt compile. Fine. So you can just always go and check in the compiled version, and let's see the records directly. So it's dbt, uh, yeah. So dbt show order date. I think it's not showing. So let me open my target. Oh shit, where have written? So I have written here. Sorry. So I'll just copy this. So I've just updated my uh, control C. I'll go here. Okay. And instead of daily, I've just written this. And so this is what we had. Anyways, so we'll just delete this. Okay, it doesn't matter. We'll do compile once again. Don't save. Okay, so here I've just updated. Okay, so we have daily, white daily I've written twice. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control V. Okay, so sorry for that. So let me change this quickly. So it's daily, and here I just write what a compared, right? So let me repeat the code. Sorry for that. So compared as, so lag of order number over. So I hope you know the SQL. Okay, order by order date as previous order, and I'll just write from daily. Fine. And here I'll write select star from compared. Let me do control yes, and yes. So now if I do dbt compile, okay, so now let me do dbt show. Okay, line 13. SQL error, line 13 and position 46 as select, shit, select star, comma, control yes. Now dbt show. Yeah, so you can see the previous orders. Okay, so this is what we have just added in my existing analysis. Okay, so let me go and create one more analysis. Okay, just for practice. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just go and create a new file, and let me add this as a total revenue, VENUE total revenue dot SQL. Fine, and in this let me select payments. So with payments as, so here I'll write select star from, so let me refer to stage payments, stage payments, and let me take aggregated values. Here for in the first CT, I'm just selecting the state payments. And next, let me write one more CT called aggregated as, so here, so let me select sum, let me select a sum amount as total revenue, sum of amount as total revenue, and from payments, and I just want to take a payments where the status is success. Okay, so from payments where status is equal to success. Fine. So then finally select star from aggregated. Control C. Okay, so let me do control S. And if I just do compile once again, dbt compile, it will go to the analysis folder and see all the models which is there in my analysis folder, and it will just compile it. And the compiled code you can see inside the target, right? You can see like right now we got two models, one is dbt by day as well as total revenue, and this is a compiled version. You can just verify from this part of code. And now if I want to see the output, right? So we can do dbt show. So dbt show command, so dbt show, and instead of orders by day, so let me write a total revenue. Hit enter. Yes, you can see the total revenue. Okay, so yes, so we have successfully built two analysis. Okay, so now let's discuss all about seeds. Okay, so first let's understand what is seeds is all about, right? So let me open this, and so what is a seeds, right? So let me write few points here. So I can just tell that seeds are .csv files that live in the seeds folder. Okay, so seeds folder, fine. And so right now if I just go and check, we don't have seeds folder. Can you see, right? So if I just close this analysis, models, okay, target, and we have test. So we have analysis, we have dbt packages, logs, macros, models, seeds. Okay, so we have seeds. But if you use some older versions, right, I mean like the versions which is prior to 1.0, so it is called data folder. But if you're using the latest version, it's called seeds. Fine, just remember that thing. Okay, so whatever the, so what are the seeds? So seeds are .csv files that live inside the seeds folder. Okay, and this is the first point, seeds folder. And the second point is, so we have a command to execute a seeds. Okay, so when you execute a command called dbt seed, so what it does, so it will just seed the data. Okay, so whatever the data you had inside the seed folder, right, it will save the data. And so that data will see the data, that is, it will be built, so it will be built in your a data warehouse, in your data warehouse as what, as a table. It's very important. Fine. So what I'm telling, so what are the first seeds? So seeds are .csv files that live in the seeds folder. So we have a seeds folder. So if I expand the seeds folder, we don't have any .csv file so far, right? But what is called seeds? So if you're adding any of the csv files inside this, we call that as a seeds. Okay, and so when you run this command called dbt seed, right, and whatever the file you have added inside this, that will be built in your data warehouse as what, a tables. Okay, just remember that. And even we can use this as a reference, like we have learned the ref function, right? So even we can use a ref function to refer this particular tables in your data warehouse. Okay, and so when so next is, so when you should use this, so seeds should should be used for a data that does not change frequently. Okay, please write down this. This is very important. Okay, so change frequently. So it doesn't mean that whenever you have a huge data sets, okay, so you just put it inside the fields and that will build a table. Okay, that's not a right practice. So seeds is not meant for this. So seeds are the tables, okay, which will be built in your data warehouse where the data will not change frequently. Okay, for example, the country codes or pin codes, right? So let me write down this frequently, frequently, right? And both. So when you should not see seeds, so seeds should not be the process for uploading the data that changes frequently. Okay, so just remember these few points with respect to seeds frequently. Sorry, Quently. Fine, frequently. And so, for example, I told like country codes, employee emails, right? Employee account IDs. Okay, so that's where you will be using the seeds. Okay, so now let's do the hands-on. So what I have done is, so I've already created a sample.csv file. Let me show that. So if I go to my one of the folders, so here I have employees test. Okay, so it's .csv file. So let me copy this, and so let me go to my project, and inside the project we have a seed. So let me paste it here. Okay, so let me paste it. Let's verify that from my VS Code. So if I just expand this, can you see this employees test.csv? And now, so we know the command. So the command is dbt seed command, so everything should work fine. So this employees test should build as a table in your data warehouse if everything goes fine. Yes, so it completed successfully. Okay, so now if I just go to my Snowflake, let me refresh this. Yes, you can see employees test, right? So if I just place this over here and let me do select star from this. Yes, you can see the data here, right? So even I've not shown you data, so how it looks. If I just open this, okay, so employees test. Okay, so this was my data actually. So this data has been built as what? It has been built as a table in your data warehouse, right? So this is what the advantage of seeds is. Okay, just remember these pointers. Okay, so when we'll be using these seeds, fine. So I hope you have learned what is analysis and why we use analysis, and even you know like what is seeds and we'll be using the seeds, right? So this is all about like in today's session. So I'll be back with a new topic tomorrow. Bye.